introductions out of the way first. Just a little bit about me. My name is Jody Albritton. I started in 2013 in the SmartThings community out of a need that I had personally. My parents are older folks. They're what I would call aging in place in the IoT community. It was what the dream I had back then, was that they could age in place and that I wouldn't have to put them in a home, or I wouldn't have to live with them forever to take care of them, or have somebody live with them to take care of them. So I kickstarted this project and have been around since the Kickstarter days. I joined the community when I saw that there was an opening for developing your own project within the SmartThings ecosystem. And I've been an active community member since 2014. I was a loud enough community member that they finally hired me to make me shut up. And that's how I became a software engineer at SmartThings. I joined the company as a developer advocate, and developer advocacy has been my focus the entire time I've been at the company. I've switched roles around inside of SmartThings as we've become a bigger and bigger piece inside of the Samsung picture for IoT. I have worked on several different projects, and if you followed Samsung and SmartThings, the story, you may notice that there's like gaps in the history, and I'm going to go through that a little bit. So how many people are familiar with Samsung? How many people are familiar with SmartThings? Okay. So why SmartThings? Just to get this out of the way, why join SmartThings as a platform? Why put your devices on our platform? You can access and control your devices from everywhere. Like, if you just take a look at this screenshot right here, you're gonna be able to control the devices that are connected to our platform, and there are about 4,000 of them right now, 4,000 different kinds of devices, 4,000 makers of devices that are connected to our platform. This includes TVs, refrigerators, washers, dryers, temperature sensors, everything in between. You'll be able to access and connect and control those things from not just these interfaces, but interfaces like Josh Lyons over here has built. He's one of our community developers. He's built an app that lets you control all of these things from your phone in a different way, automated way. Plug. So what is this? SmartThings is this cloud here. It's the cloud in the middle. We are the glue layer, and we've stayed an open and separate brand from Samsung for a reason. Like, we want people that are not Samsung to be in our platform. We want Google on our platform. We want used to works with Nest on our platform. We want other companies to join our platform. And so SmartThings has a goal of being an open and accessible ecosystem to our competitors and to everyone. That's built in by default. And there's a reason that we're still called SmartThings. And that's it. And I've got a brief history in 2.1 slides. So the reason that SmartThings exists as a company is that in 2011, our founder, Alex Hawkinson, he had a vacation home in Colorado. And it took him a few months to discover that during the winter, his pipes had burst and cost him $80,000 in damage to this cabin, this like inherited family cabin. And if anybody had known anything at any time, they could have stopped this. Like, it wasn't even a catastrophic failure. It was a minor failure that turned into a catastrophic failure. But they had an idea, and they had this idea, and they said, what if the house could have told us that it had something wrong with it? Like, and they looked at the market, and the marketplace, there was nothing. There was nothing like this that was in the budget of a normal person. There was, there's the Control 5s and the Crustrons, and like mansions have had this kind of stuff for a while. But the normal person, the mass market person, didn't have access to any of this technology. And so they had it personally impacted him, and he went on a mission. In 2012, they founded it. They started a Kickstarter. We were the highest Kickstarter at one point. We raised $1.2 million. We took $3 million of seed money. We started selling our products in 2013 publicly on the market, on Amazon. And then we took another investment round. In 2014, we were acquired by Samsung Next, which put us into the Bay Area, That's where we started headquartering, and that's when I joined the company as an actual employee. In 2015, we launched our V2 hub and sensors and started bringing things from the cloud to what you would call edge computing now. So we do run things locally at the site of the hub. 2017, we start branching out. We have works as a SmartThings hub now. So we got the link that plugs into the back of a TV, turns your TV into a hub. You can plug it into your NVIDIA Shield, turn your NVIDIA Shield into a hub. We're noticing a trend in the marketplace that consumers are looking at hubs, and nobody's at home and they say, you know what I want today? I want to go to Best Buy and look for hubs. I need another hub. I need another box that doesn't really provide any functionality to me. I need a box to put somewhere in a closet. Like, nobody's shopping for those. So we're looking at ways to bring the hub into your devices, into other people's devices, into TVs, into refrigerators, into things like the NVIDIA Shield. And I'll talk about that kind of at the end of the thing, but today I'm here to talk about the launch of our new developer products. We've kind of been radio silent for 2 years with developers. There's been a trickle of information about developers, but we're really ready to start talking to developers in a serious way again, and that's with our launch of the new developer workspace and developer platform. So the next phase for developers at SmartThings is going to be the developer portal, the developer workspace, new ways to connect your devices and make it easier to connect your devices, new ways to automate those devices, ways to connect your services to SmartThings and bring your data and your information into SmartThings and extract data out of SmartThings for your platform. And then lastly, we're going to talk about how to put our hub in your product. So the developer portal, if anybody wants to take a screenshot or this, and I may post these slides later, but he said it'll be in a video. The developer portal is here, and we're relaunching this. So if any of you are familiar with SmartThings, there was another way to develop, and if you Google how to develop on SmartThings, you're still going to land in the bad place, and that's the old place. That's the desert where things have gone and disappeared. But this is the new world that we're living in, and everything that's new will be launched and documented in the new developer portal. And the developer workspace is more task-driven now, so it's not just some IDE with a code editor that you get into and you're like, now what? Now we're driving you. Like, if you want to be a device integrator, here's how you do it. You want to automate, here's how you do it. You want to get just API access to our platform, click here, sign up. And SmartThings Schema is the way we're trying to enable people to connect our platform with cloud-connected devices. And if you've noticed, more and more companies are just, your light bulb just connects to the cloud. And your thermostat, it connects to a cloud. And so there's lots of clouds. And one future we see is one that doesn't have any hubs in it at all. And so Schema is just cloud-based. Your devices are connected to a cloud, and that cloud is talking to our cloud, and we're providing a platform for that to happen. This is one of the futures. We're still going to see hub connected, and I'm going to talk about hub connected in a little bit, but SmartThings Schema is a way to get your device that's already connected to the cloud, it's already on the internet. You can put it in SmartThings in 80 lines of code. And it looks like that. So this basic schema would get your cloud-connected device on our platform and available to all of our customers in about 80 lines of code. It's been scrunched down, but just those core functions are what you need to connect to our platform. You need to provide us with a discovery request to tell us, like, what is the device? You need to provide us with the commands that it does, and then you tell us where we're going to send you state refreshes. And that's it. Your device is connected to our platform. It takes literally about 80 lines of code. If you already works with Amazon or works with Google, you've already built that integration, you probably have this and can talk to us. And so writing this integration is like filling out a form, uploading some JavaScript to your service, and you're connected and available on our platform in our marketplace. A Smart App Connector integration is a little bit different. This is what we're replacing hosted. We've had hosted apps and hosted automations in the past, and now we're moving towards where we're going, like I said, to the edge, where we hope that people will host these endpoint apps in their own cloud or host them on premise, because, and this is, again, like a very simplified version of what this is, but we only are concerned with these lifecycle events. Ping verifies that your app exists and is talking to our platform, and that's how we know to send it events. And we do this ping periodically throughout the day to make sure that your app is alive, and that's how we check the health of your app. And then we send it different configuration events, and you handle these lifecycle events on your side. And it's a very simple, straightforward process. It eliminates the need for us to host your code in our cloud, because that was one of the big drawbacks in the history of SmartThings, was that you would submit something for a device. We had to run that code, and our engine was Turing complete, which meant you could run anything you wanted, and you could run it for however long you wanted. And we had to look at that, and it took serious engineering folks to analyze every line of code that we approved and put into our catalog. And so we didn't approve a lot. We just let a lot sit there. A lot didn't get approved. A lot just went by the wayside, and developers lost interest. So all of these efforts that we have going on right now are to expedite the process for developers, to expedite the approval for developers, to make it easier for developers and companies to get their products and services to our customers. And we want to go beyond simple if this then that rules. We have a rules engine inside of SmartThings, but the automations that we're asking people to build, and the services that we're asking people to build, and the things that community developers will build are the things that go beyond just if this then that, because we do that in our app. If this then that does that on its website, provides that for provides that for customers for free. So what we're seeing is a need that is somewhere in between. Like, if you've seen SmartThings, there is an app that lets you do very complex rules. It's called WebCore. But it is so complex that you've almost learned a new programming language if you figure out how to use it. The endpoint apps that we're going to ask developers to build are going to be able to be uploaded and run in our cloud and on the hub locally in a signed package. So that's a little bit down the road, but endpoint apps right now are a way of you doing automation that goes beyond the confines of what our platform provides today. That you do all of the figuring out of how the complicated rules should work and how they will work. So there's a bit of confusion. If you go to our website right now, you're gonna ask yourself, well, do I use ST Schema? I've got a device. I also see this thing called Endpoint App Connector for devices. I also see this Smart App Connector. Well, use your ST Schema when your cloud has OAuth and you're already connected to the cloud. Your device is out there, you can already connect to it, and you have a cloud, and you provide OAuth. We can connect to that. Then you can get on board with your device with ST Schema and 80 lines of code, like I said. Use Smart App Connector when your cloud authenticates the user in some other way. So you're going to go from inside of our app to your cloud. Like if you're Life360 and you want to say, connect me to Life360, provide me with telemetry data about my drivers of my car in my household, and use those as presence sensors, and use those as telemetry that I'm going to use to determine whether people are home or not. So you would connect from outside in. ST Schema, you just would make this simple little code schema file and upload that to us, and then your cloud would talk to our cloud, and your devices would appear in our catalog. The other way, and the way that we haven't really publicized much, and it's kind of in alpha, is that we have a simple REST-based interface with webhook callbacks that allows anybody in the world to just have a connect to SmartThings button. Like you have a connect to Facebook button, connect to Google button, you're going to be able to have a connect to SmartThings button, and we provide a REST-based full API of our platform. The reason it's not like widely out released right now is because we still have, we take privacy and security seriously at SmartThings, and we do not want just anybody to be able to say, open up an OAuth app and say, hey, connect to SmartThings and put that, just embed that on every website, hoping that the wrong person will unknowingly come by, click on the link, and sign into their SmartThings account and give them access. So we want to provide it to everyone. We want it to be open to everyone today, but just making sure that the security of it, and especially in the European Union and other places, we want to make sure that we have a path that we can approve, and we can approve in a rapid way. But it is available if you have a need to connect to our platform and extract data out of it or control data, like you're a dashboard provider. There is a way to ask for this today, and you can talk to me or somebody else inside the company about it and have access to see what it does and get access to it. And the last thing is the thing that I kind of talked about with the NVIDIA Shield and the other devices, is that we have this acronym that everybody loves at the company called WASH, called Works as a SmartThings Hub. There's more letters than are presented in this acronym, but WASH was cool sounding, so we did that. It allows the hub technology to disappear into your device. So let's say that you are a air filter maker. You could put the SmartThings Hub in your air filter and have access to all of the devices that connect to our platform. If you're a entertainment device maker, like the NVIDIA Shield was the first one that did it. ADT, they also put the hub in their ADT home control panel, and it's a SmartThings hub. Overseas, we're in 14 countries now. Vodafone uses us inside their home automation offering, and a few other of the telecoms over there are embedding us in their product, and that's the Works as a SmartThings hub. So it's a simple plan. We already have the hub hardware, we already have the hub core software, and we have a very easy SDK to enable you to embed that into your product. And the goals of it are, like, everybody knows what Samsung is. Everybody knows what SmartThings is. We have the biggest IoT platform, consumer IoT platform in the market, behind the A word, Amazon. And it allows you, using us allows you to develop recurring revenue programs and services and stay on the edge of smart home tech. So let's say you do pick one of these things. You're going to be an app developer, you're going to be a hardware developer or hardware maker. We're trying really hard to streamline the process of getting published and getting your devices to market in front of our customers. And so right now, you can either be SmartThings certified, which means we take a rigorous look at your security. We take a rigorous look at your methods and the way that your app is going to interact and the way that customers are going to interact with your app, and it's a lot more in-depth. This gives you the right to use the WWST logo for packaging, and you get more brand recognition. You get to put that out there, and you get to use us as a marketing device. SmartThings compatible will put you in a lower tier in our catalog, but is a lot easier to get through. You self-test, we review your self-test, and then we publish. It's a faster time to market. So what we're seeing now is most people are going through CST, then they go through, and once they're CST, we do the more thorough review of their product. And that's the end of my deck, and I'm going to open it up to you guys for questions. If you have any questions or thoughts about SmartThings, feedback about SmartThings, and we are hiring. We have several open positions.
Where are they located?
Minneapolis, Phoenix, Arizona, and Mountain View, California.
Do you guys do anything remote?
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I had a question. As I was watching this now, when you want to integrate support for like Apple HomeKit into your product to be works with Apple HomeKit, you have to join their MFI program, and in exchange for that, you have to give them like a percentage of everything that you make on selling your products. Does this program have a similar scenario? No. Okay.
No. We don't take a cut. We're not doing a revenue share right now, and we don't charge you anything to be in our marketplace right now. We do have some designs on revenue share for like an app store situation. That's way down the road. for device makers, if you make a device and you want to connect it, we are not charging for that.
Okay.
We don't want we want to have the most devices connected to our platform in every home, everywhere. So we don't charge device makers to connect to our platform.
Cool.
What about voice integration?
So if you do connect to our platform, you automatically are connected to all of the voice partners that we provide. And so I kind of skimmed over that in the schema section, but once you define the capabilities and the commands that your device provides, we turn around and we give that to Amazon and we give that to Google. So you don't have to write 3 different integrations. You write one for us, and then you're connected to all the voice platforms that connect to us and Bixby, which is Samsung's voice platform. Everybody uses it, right? Round of applause for Bixby.
Well, I'm sorry.
Thanks for the presentation, Jody. So you guys are obviously open inbound, and you have smart apps and SD schema to consume devices, which I know is kind of the focus of the presentation. How open is the OWARD side of that for third-party developers to go write integrations that leverage SmartThings to control devices in the SmartThings ecosystem?
It's open. I mean, Josh that's what he does. That's his app. It's a third-party app that controls devices on SmartThings. I mean, we have, and we will continue to have multiple mobile apps. We're on iOS, Android, the TV, the refrigerator. Like, you can literally control SmartThings from your fridge if you own a $5,000 Samsung refrigerator. That said, like, not everybody wants that, and not everybody, even our app doesn't make everybody happy, and it's not going to make everybody happy, and we know that, and we know we're not one size fits all. There are people with accessibility issues. There are people that have, elder care issues. The team I work on, and the way that I got back into talking to developers again is that I talk with multifamily unit partners, which is large apartment complexes, where we're embedding SmartThings in apartments in thousands of places. And so we have to make a solution that works for a lot of people. But a lot of different companies have a lot of different needs. Like every apartment complex wants to be unique. They all want a unique interface. They all want their own custom thing. They want to be powered by SmartThings, but they don't want to be run by Samsung. They want to, where you go to pay your water bill and where you go to pay your rent, they want also, like, you can control your smart home. And we work with companies that, like Schmecco in the Northeast, that they're a big energy provider. We work with them. We provide them with energy monitoring devices that they can then give to their customers and say, we're going to give you these devices for free. And if you let us monitor your energy usage, if you let us give you advice on how to save money at peak times and off-peak times, we'll lower your electric bill. We'll give you a break. And so we have a devices deal with them, and we also have a data deal with them. They are what you would call a takeout partner. You're asking about, like, well, I see a lot of ways that I can put my stuff into SmartThings, but what do I get out of SmartThings? You can, as a partner, connect to SmartThings, consume data, use that for energy monitoring, energy advice providing. We have an OAuth-based REST endpoint that you can connect to. You don't have to build anything on our platform if you want to. You can connect directly to us, consume data, and as long as you're providing value to our customers, great.
What does that mean?
Like, if you are an energy, say you're an energy provider company, you want to provide energy monitoring data to the customer.
There are limitations on who you work with?
Right now, the only limitation is that we want to be selective about who we give that access to. And as we go along, it will open up to more people. It will open up, I hope it will just open up to one day where you can go in and for like 100 installs, you can just sign up and see if the OAuth endpoint works for you. That's where I hope we are in a couple months. Right now, it's kind of in a closed space where you have to talk to somebody to get it. But
right, and I'll talk to you afterwards. But like I have a similar product. Been trying to work with SmartThings for a couple of years now. At the time, it was being consumed by Samsung, and everything kind of closed down and went quiet for a while.
Yep.
So OAuth came back, and we've been told that it's coming and coming and coming and coming and coming, and then we finally
It's here.
we got there, and then we were told that we basically weren't eligible. So we're trying to figure out.
So you went through this new workspace?
We have the whole kind of get certified or partner up with Samsung SmartThings thing going
Okay,
on.
let me-
But yeah, I'll talk with you after. I'm just
Yeah, let me
kinda-
give you my card, and,
Yeah.
and you can talk to me after this privately.
I
and
guess
we can-
I've heard rumors that just on the OAuth side of things that like the IC integration might be going away.
No.
Nothing there.
No.
Okay. Good to hear.
Do you offer any kind of beta testing platform for developers to utilize?
Yeah, I mean, all of this stuff is pretty much in beta right now. Like the SC Schema and the endpoint apps. These are all we announced these at SDC 18. We launched them into kind of a closed beta at SDC 18. We selected a few partners. We've rolled them out wide now, so anybody can do any of the things other than the OAuth integration. You can sign up and test this out for yourself right now today with your own organization. You can self-publish. You can within your organization, you can all see and share your apps and devices.
Okay. So it's totally open to
Yep.
beta test however many instances you want.
Yeah, but for right now, yeah. As long as you know, we use this thing called an MNID. As long as you know that, you can install the app. As long as you know the app's ID, you can install it through the CLI that we have.
Nice. Thank you.
And you can do that as many times as you want. We have an execution and rate limits, and you can find all of that in our documentation. But for right now, if you know the app ID, you can install it however many locations you want. We're not limiting anybody on that. Somebody, yeah.
So I know like Samsung did started like a IoT management service. I think it was called Arctic.io.
Yep.
I guess it's being end of life at the end of this year or something. It's going away.
Yeah. You want to talk about that, Allison?
So my backstory is that I started with Samsung almost 3 years ago, and when I started with Arctic. So I'm on the developer relations team. So we were the DevRel team for Arctic, and that basically it had already been decided when I joined 3 years ago that they were going to switch attention from Arctic, which had largely been focused on industrial partners, actually been focused on not the home consumer, but on a business consumer. That the attention was going to focus away from that and instead on bolstering the SmartThings platform to kind of rebrand SmartThings as being the IoT platform for Samsung as a company. Once that has now kind of come full circle.
Oh, actually, I also work for Samsung.
Oh, okay.
Samsung has a chip design center here.
Yep.
So I work for them.
So sorry. So yeah, you probably know a little bit of this. I apologize. But as I understand it, there's I think one kind of legacy client that is left fairly substantial that is still being serviced by Arctic, but that's going away too.
So is Arctic rolled into the SmartThings platform as a whole, or is it pieces that will never be replaced?
They're distinct. So as I understand it,
Arctic is gone. Is it replaced by SmartThings, or is it never going back?
Yeah, we are building out things in our platform to handle enterprise use cases, and specifically the first one we were tackling that Arctic handled in a way was this builders and multifamily unit developers. That was Arctic's biggest customer, and so we're developing specific products that handle those unique use cases. Because our consumer product, the one you can go to Best Buy and buy, that's not what a home builder who is rolling out like Pulte is not. They don't want to go to Best Buy and buy a bunch of hubs and install them with a mobile app. Go through that every house. Like they need a different product, and we're building that product for them specifically. And if you're an MFU developer or you are a housing developer and you want to integrate smart home, we have a completely different way of integrating SmartThings. In the end result, the people that are your customers there get the same thing. They get SmartThings, and they get an automated home, and they get access to all of these devices. And they can go and buy these devices and put them in their apartment, but they don't own the infrastructure that controls those devices. Different product, but we do have we do have different things that we're looking at in different segments of the market that we're targeting with different layers of our platform.
A lot of this seems like it's very much oriented at people who want to build and market their own devices and things. What about those of us who are in the makerspace who actually just want to make our own devices to just use at home? They're like one-off designs.
Still, I mean, you can do that with an endpoint app. You can run that locally. You can run an endpoint app on we have examples in our GitHub repos. If you go to github.com/SmartThingsCommunity, you can find some example endpoint apps that you can run them from your house. You don't have to run them in the cloud. You don't have to pay for that. Have any of you heard of Glitch? Glitch is a way that you can take and basically like how you fork an app in GitHub. You can go to Glitch and click this Glitch Remix button, and it spins up a complete Node.js server for you with all of our code already ready to go. All you got to do is put your information from the developer workspace into it. And that's in our GitHub repository as well. And we'll be rolling more and more things like that out for developers. And I'm a maker. I have things connected to my platform that SmartThings doesn't support. I do things with my household that SmartThings definitely doesn't support out of the box. But these APIs, the endpoint APIs, the endpoint API is the same API as the REST API. It's just the REST API is you want people to be able to connect to SmartThings, connect to your service from your web app. But you can still do that if you have a piece of hardware that you develop yourself. You can do the SD schema, or you can do an endpoint connector. You can run that connector locally at your house, and you can not have to upload anything to the cloud other than the information about where your device is and where we need to send the events, the commands to it from our app. You do have to have that. Like, it has to be able to receive events and commands. But other than that, you can have it anywhere you want. And so for makers and hobbyists, like we're not marketing towards them, but we do still have the biggest, other than Reddit, home automation community on the internet. Like community.smartthings.com is a huge place to go and find out about not just SmartThings, they're just home automation enthusiasts in general at that website.
Behind you. What radio technologies will this work with? What standards can it handle?
Well, our hub supports Zigbee, Z-Wave, the most current iterations of both of those in our current hub. It also has Wi-Fi built into it. It connects to locally LAN-based devices, and then our schema app or schema-based devices and endpoint app connected devices, they can use whatever you want. Like if you use Radio RA or you use Lutron, I mean, you can use whatever you want. Once you're in the cloud and your cloud is talking to our cloud, you can use whatever radio technology you want to use. But by default, like what you can connect locally is Zigbee, Z-Wave, and local LAN-based TCP packets.
Does that include my own RF? If I've got my own little proprietary RF protocol?
Absolutely, yeah. If it's IP based.
It's not.
Well, I mean, if you have a bridge, or you can bridge it to our network. It can, like, the other side of that bridge can be whatever radio you want it to be.
Okay.
Could you talk a little more about the developer tools, and could you show us some of that maybe?
Sure. It doesn't make for a very exciting. The reason I didn't log in and go through that.
You go to the old site first.
Yep. Because this new one is like a long URL. I can tell you that the portal is organized, and this is something that I need to call out if you guys are planning on looking at this. When you go here first, the partner with us is where you would go if you want to sign up for anything that's not open already. So endpoint apps are open. SD Schema, all that stuff's open. But if you want to sign up to get OAuth, start with the partner with us. That's the one where you say, I have a company and I want my things to be connected to Samsung or SmartThings, and I want my stuff. I want to actually partner with you. Start on that path, and that's what gets you into the loop of our business development team, gets you into contact with the people that actually make decisions about the non-technical side of SmartThings. So that's it. But logging in is based on having a Samsung account, which I know is an impediment for some people, but it's a lot of the things that I said, like why SmartThings. There's a lot of sales pitch, but the main thing in the portal that you would be interested in is the documentation side, and I can show you the OAuth documentation for the people that were asking about, like, how do you just create a service to take out data? Don't screenshot that. But it's super simple. I mean, it's a very the end user journey and your developer journey are very, very simple for OAuth. If you've ever integrated with any other OAuth 2 provider, you sign up, you get a client ID, a secret, they give you a URL to call, like a token URL and an authorization URL. You get a callback URL, you tell us where to send you data, that's it. Like, it's super simple. It's a lot. If you've ever developed for SmartThings in the past, this is way simpler than developing your own REST-based endpoint API. And so this is one of the things I'm most excited about. I actually wrote a paper before I joined the company. This was the thing I said was the most important thing that SmartThings needed to do for the developer community. I think endpoint apps are great, but REST is what everybody knows. Everybody knows how to talk to a REST API. And this opens up so many gateways to so many different platforms, to so many different providers, that you can control and talk to all of the devices in your house through this API. And it's super obvious and super simple the way we've organized it. If you look at the documentation, like I said, for the device makers that don't want to wait to find out if they can get into this program, you can look at the reference for the SmartThings API for the Smart Apps, and it's really not more complicated than I showed you in that slide. There are some life cycles that you need to handle in your app, and you handle those life cycles however you want to handle them. Whenever we send you the ping, you got to say yes to that, like you're alive. But when you want to update data, we're just saying that the app, the service is saying update your thing, send us a thing saying here's your new updated data. When the user sends a command to you, you define what capabilities, what commands are available on your service or your device, and we look at that schema that you've formatted for us, and we send that. The customer pushes a button, we translate it to your platform and send that off to you. You handle it however you want to handle it. Like if you have a device, a bridge that has whatever radio in it, you can have that, and you can, as long as you tell us what capabilities and what commands you have, and you fill this form out, and then you can handle these events, you can connect whatever you want to the SmartThings platform. And it is just that. Like, that's all you have to do. And I mean, there's not a lot to show, like, other than you fill out a form, and any of you have ever filled out a survey form, it's shorter than that to fill out the form to get access to this. I can go back to my slides and just show you the form. It's that. You fill that form out, and then you create the app, you install the app, and the app lives and runs on your service. It can be AWS Lambda, It can be a webhook. We speak natively to AWS Lambda. Our services all run in AWS. So if you have an ARN from AWS Lambda, if you already have a Lambda service up and running, all you need to do is tell us the ARN and the schema that it uses. And so you can have a device. If you already have a cloud connected device that's running on Lambda, if it already speaks to Amazon, all you have to do is tell us the commands and the events. And we know how to talk to it because we know how to talk to Amazon. So all we need is the shape of the data, the shape of the commands that it takes, and the ARN. If you've already built that, you don't have to do that work again. And then you can connect to Google, and you can connect to Bixby also. So the work you did doesn't throw away. You just take it, put it in our platform, and you get access to everything. Does that answer your
Thank you.
more in depth?
Do you have any opinions, personal or otherwise, on the whole works with Nest situation?
It doesn't. Works with Nest. I mean,
and they're kind of
personally,
step
you know,
out
like
of it.
I feel bad for the people that have built hardware and have that logo on their boxes, because I mean, I work for a company that makes and sells hardware, and we have like just in the world that I've lived in for the last 5 years, I know what the lifetime value and the lifetime to market of a piece of hardware is, and it may something may live for 2 years with that logo in a store. Like before it gets all the way through the buying and the selling and the third parties, and it gets to this, like there's going to be works with Nest stuff out there for years, on store shelves still being sold, and it'll be sold on Newegg and any like Google Deals will have it for sale even after it's shuttered. And so I feel bad for the people that built hardware with that logo on it, and I fight every day at SmartThings to make sure that we are not doing that. We want to make sure we're the opposite of that. That when we knew we couldn't do for developers, we didn't just shut our platform down. We did go radio silent. We did kind of pause publication of things, but we left it open for the developers that did want to wade through that process on their own, and let them do that. And myself and others who didn't even have it as their job to support developers continue to do so. Inside SmartThings, I think every engineer that works inside SmartThings is a developer advocate. Like developer advocacy and developer relations doesn't just belong to just 4 or 5 people that go to these events. It belongs to the people that have to use these tools every day. I'm one of those people that has to use these tools every day. The Samsung HQ folks are people that have to use these tools every day. So developer relations and developer advocacy is hugely important inside the company and outside the company, because we're not just some one thing that is siloed by itself anymore. We have Samsung as a customer, and they can be demanding. So we don't want to do what, like, we are definitely looking at that situation and saying, we can learn something from this, and we know some things not to do. And there have been other things that have shut down. Stringify was shut down with very little notice. Comcast acquired them a couple of years ago, and they had a pretty decent amount of customers, and a lot of those customers were connected to SmartThings, and they shut down. Cloud companies are going to shut down, and I think as we move in the future, we're going to see more consolidation around silos and ecosystems, and I hope that we continue to be open and the platform that people choose because of that. Is that a good answer?
Yeah, it's a good way to end.
Anybody else? All right, I think there's a swag table back there.
Yep, we've got some excellent stickers and a couple of cozies. So, sorry, no t-shirts this time. Apologies.
All right, thank you.